So 2 weeks before we were scheduled to go on our first field trip to Garibaldi Mountain, our teacher came up with to us with the permission forms, and on the back there was like this entire like legal document on the back, and he was like, "All right, just make sure you have this signed by your parents." And we were all wondering what the hell this was.
Well, obviously, it's like one of those basic permission slips, right?
It was
like,
a liability waiver if anything happened to us, if we died on that mountain.
Normally, in a grade 10 gym field trip, you wouldn't expect to get severely injured, but you know, clearly the school expected it. But of course, us being the little kids didn't really set off any red flags at the time.
Yeah, so we just got all the stuff signed and off we went on the longest field trip of my fucking life.
Yeah, this field trip was way too fucking long. Must have been like, what, in total? 14 hours?
14 hours, yeah.
At least.
14 hours.
So,
yep.
Basically, we got to the school at around 4 or 3 a.m. in the morning.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
For clarifying.
Yes. So, clearly, we were pretty much sleep deprived before this hike started.
But here's the thing. When we first got on that bus, everybody was full of energy.
Excited.
Exactly.
Like, it was
we were all
4 a.m.
Sitting,
it was like 3 or 4 a.m.
bus.
Yeah, it was like 4 a.m. in the morning, and everybody's just partying in the bus. Little did we know what faced us, did we?
Yeah, we were partying and partying and partying until like 25 minutes in, and we're like, it started to hit us how long this journey was gonna be, and the fact that the sun hadn't even fucking come up yet.
So anyway, it was like a 4-hour drive, and of course you guys don't know this, but I am horribly, or I get horribly car sick.
Yeah,
I have extreme
really
motion
bad.
sickness. Like, if I sit in a car for more than 30 minutes, I turn into like a high pressurized vomit cannon.
And guess who had the privilege of
the distinct honor of sitting next to me? You.
It was me. Yes.
Wasn't it great?
It was a real honor.
I had a
and
great
also,
time trying to hold back throwing up all over you. Like, that was great.
I was scared for the entire time.
There were some close calls.
So we get there. So at this point, it's about 7:30 in the morning.
I think it was around like 6 or 7.
We're at Garibaldi. We all get out, and of course, people have to go take a piss because they've been in a bus for about 2 hours. So basically, we all get out, and we noticed the bathroom. It wasn't an actual bathroom. It's an outhouse, is what it was. Mm-hmm. All the guys they were in single file going into the bathroom. When I got in there, I did not expect, I expected a toilet to be there, right? Like a toilet with a flush and maybe a sink. Nope, it was a fucking hole in the ground. The biggest, nastiest shit pile hole I've ever seen in my life, and it smelled like fucking death.
Like, I had to throw up, right? So I decided maybe I should throw up into the toilet. And I went...
Big mistake.
Yeah, I went over to the fucking toilet, and all of a sudden I realized, you know what? Vomiting isn't that bad anymore. When I looked into that black hole of death on the ground.
But I guess that's what you expect.
Like, I'm pretty sure that stank must have killed me.
Eventually, we did decide to, climb the damn mountain.
Here's the thing. On paper, it doesn't sound that hard, right? It wasn't exactly like a 90-degree climb, right? But it was so long. It must have been at least...
The trail went in a zigzag.
Yeah, exactly. Like a zigzag upwards, up the side of a mountain. Just getting up must have taken at least 5 or 6 hours.
And, no, for us, because...
For us, of course. Exactly, there's us.
But
then there's the jocks.
One kid.
No, the jocks
the one
in general.
athletic kid.
Yeah, those athletic fucking kids. We'll call him the plank god.
The athletic kid.
Sure.
He decided to run up the damn mountain, and he made it there in 2 hours. I don't know.
He sprinted up the fucking mountain, which I mean, honestly, isn't the most insane thing he's done. But we'll get into that some other day. So basically, as we were climbing up, the gym teachers used what's known as a wolf pack strategy, right? They had one person at the very front, one person at the very back, right? And everybody else in the middle. The teacher said the only rule was that we're not allowed to pass the teacher in the front, which we're not gonna fucking do, or fall behind the teacher at the back, which was much harder than we thought would be. Because even though he said that, hey, take your guys' time, right? There's no rush. He was still pretty fast, and we're doing everything we fucking can to keep in front of this guy, right? And every time we try to slow down, he's like, guys, come on, hurry up, we're not gonna make it. It was like, you just said we could take our fucking time.
We didn't. He passed us.
Yeah, he passed us, and eventually he didn't even care. He's just like, hey, make sure you guys don't fall behind me, and eventually he just fucking left. Like, what was the point?
They might get eaten by a bear, it's fine.
They might get fucking lost, but who cares? That's what the contract was for.
Signed the liability waiver.
Exactly.
It all comes back to that. They told us that at the top of the mountain was this amazing view, right? Like just crisp blue water that's been like untouched for thousands of years.
And
it's just
when we got up there,
was so photogenic.
Yeah, they weren't wrong. It was beautiful up there. Absolutely untouched by mankind for centuries.
I took a couple pictures while I was up there because it just looked so nice.
Of course, everyone took pictures. There was no way you couldn't just stop and look at that view.
That water truly was.
It really was nature's untouched beauty. Until.
That is.
Until.
Okay,
You see,
so wait, there's this guy, right? That we're not gonna give you his.
We'll call him Big Body.
He's Big Body.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
You'll understand why another day.
He's a nice guy, but sometimes he does things that make you question all human existence.
Makes you question how far we've strayed from God.
Yes. During this field trip, this man, when he first found out about the field trip, he's like, you know what? I'm not gonna bring any coat. I'm not gonna bring any gloves because we're climbing up a f***ing mountain. I'm not gonna bring any food
or water because clearly these things will just rain out of the sky while he's up there.
So he had to rely on somebody else to give him half a Subway footlong and a pair of gloves and a jacket.
And half his water. And not just for this field trip, but many down the line. So basically, once we got to the top, there's this beautiful lake, right? On the top of in like this valley surrounded by mountains and glaciers, right? Incredible sight. And basically our teacher, because this is still a learning experience, decides to pull us out, or pull us all to the side and give us a bit of a history lesson on the place, right? He tells us how this water, right, has been there for thousands of years, right? Melted from the glaciers and came down the mountain. It's been absolutely untouched by any humans for centuries, right? Like the cleanest water I have ever seen. And then we hear like this little trickle, right? Like a little...
It's like a little tinkling.
Yeah, a little whiz of water. And we're like, what is that? And everybody just looks to the side and sees Big Body peeing, just taking a piss in the absolute untouched, pristine glacier water. It's like, what? Why? Why? Of any place you could do it, of any place you could take a piss, you would take a piss in one of BC's most untouched lakes.
And then he's like, what? It's water, I can take a piss in it, right? Like, no, you get...
Like, that's not the point! And now it has
water,
this piss in it. So after all that was said and done, we decided to finally head back down the mountain. Of course, knowing the jocks though, they couldn't just f***ing walk like normal people.
No. They had to freaking... What's that guy? Who's that Olympian? F***ing Bruce Jenner sprint down the mountain.
Of course.
Wait, is it Caitlyn Jenner? I don't know.
And one of these guys, one of these guys, who we'll call the Perm, he decides that he wants to be as fast as f*** and run down the mountain before everybody else. Like I said, this is a zigzag pattern, right? So instead of going down the trail in a zigzag pattern, he decides, you know what? If I just cut straight through the mountain, straight down the path, then I'll get there faster.
That much faster. Yeah.
Unbeknownst to him, that each zigzag was like a 90-degree drop onto the next trail. So this guy runs straight off of it and goes flying off the edge of a cliff, right?
And what did our gym teacher do when he saw that? He didn't just run down and try to help this man.
He shrugged and said, oh well, he'll be fine. He'll walk it off. He'll literally walk it off. Like, thank you! Congratulations, teachers! You've done it!
He could have broken...
He could have died! He could have f***ing died! And the teachers are just like, it's fine, he'll walk it off. Like, I get the kid's an athlete, but he ain't the Wolverine.
Is he Superman? Is he Superman? No, he's f***ing not.
Like, I get it, he's dumb, but they need more attention. So yeah, finally we got down to the mountain, we got down from the mountain, we got on the bus, and we got fucking home. Following another 4-hour car drive, where everybody was honestly just passed out, tired of this shit, and realized that they never want to go on a fucking hike again. Unbeknownst to us. Until
2 months later.
Where we went on the next hike, known as the Chief.
Bong, bong, bing, bong, bing, bing, bong, bing.